More than I need, what you want, girl, it's yours. Give me your feelings, I just can't ignore. 'Cause all I want is you, baby. Give me your time, all your love, I've been patient.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Russell the Fourth.
Hey everybody, it's me, Brandy.
And welcome to Season 3, Episode 15 of the What They Never Told Us podcast. What's going on? Back like we never left.
We haven't. It's hot. We at home.
I know. Why you ruining the fourth wall, you know? You ruining the illusion that we big
That was
time.
ruined a long time ago.
Was it the Nats that gave it away that one season?
Know. It's been a lot.
This is why
the kids, the barking dog, the gnats, all of that.
This is why the people that rock with us, they really like family, because they really be seeing the come up from season 1 to now.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a whole,
Last
ordeal.
episode was the kickback. It was the first time that like one of us had to leave camera.
Nah, I don't know if it was. Oh, you know what? That's when we were doing an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I had to go upstairs, but I hate that's becoming a pet peeve of mine.
What, having to
leave, like ruining the fourth wall. Like when we're on live and we're kicking it, and it's like, hold on, y'all, let me. Or when we got to talk to somebody on air, like it's frustrating to me. But yeah, so what? 2 weeks away from Christmas.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good.
You good?
Chilling.
I haven't bought a single Christmas present, not a one.
You probably won't. It'll probably be me that'll be doing that.
I want you to know, before me and you got married.
Listen, don't talk about what happened before. Talk about after, because I done asked you about Christmas like 82 times. Hey, what are we doing?
I've just never had.
Hey, we need to like buy stuff.
I've just never had to go over this with other people. I'm usually just out here on the whim of my pants, just getting stuff.
Yeah,
and I plan on doing that again.
No, that's not the way the budget set up. We need to plan.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to navigate the whole blended family Christmas. Like, okay, I'm buying presents for the kids, but okay, do they open them here? I usually send them over there to open up for their Christmas morning. Like, I'm trying to figure all that out.
Yeah, it's the first one, so obviously we have to be a little flexible, but going forward, we definitely need to set a standard of what's going to happen.
This is what we do on Christmas.
Yeah, it feels a little disjointed, if I'm being honest.
It doesn't feel, it is. It's not a feeling. It's very factual. It's very factual. But speaking of Christmas, we have a Christmas present for all of our faithful What They Never Told Us viewers and family. We got a What They Never Told Us soundtrack. We got y'all. Listen.
First of all, we can't take any credit for that. I mean, the creation of we actually had to go through and like put the songs on there, obviously. But yes, the idea came from one of our very, very faithful listeners, supporters, and just all around family. Like, so shout out to Jalen Azrael.
Shout out to you, family.
You know who you are. If y'all listen to the kickbacks, you definitely hear Jay's name come up a lot. But he had been, every time we come on live, we play music, and he always asks, who is that? Send me the song. Make me a playlist. So finally, Russell got around to making the playlist.
And I got so into it. And, I love making playlists, number one. Like, if there was a career of someone who makes playlists, like the joints that play in Walmart or like TJ Maxx, I feel like I would smoke that. But I got into it and I sent it to him. I made even like the little cover for the, and I was like, he said, you can thank all your viewers for this idea because this is fire or whatever.
Or all the viewers can thank him.
All the viewers can thank him.
Yes.
Yeah, and y'all should, because the playlist is dope.
Yeah,
like, I've literally been working on it all weekend. It's some names in that I'm sure you're going to know: Eric Bellinger, Robert Glasper. But there's also some dope artists that you've never heard of. Jazz Watts is on there, who you know from the theme song of the show, All I Want Is You. So many people. You got to check it out. It's dope. It's amazing.
Did you sneak in any personally written?
There's one joint on there. I think it's still on there. If it's not, I'll make sure I put it back. But there's a song I wrote for Dondria. that's on the playlist. But I feel like all the songs kind of represent what the platform's about. It covers love when it feels amazing, and it's songs on there that, you know, describes love when they don't feel amazing. But it feels very much like us. I got some joints from our playlist. And you know what I thought when I was making it? This is what we were doing. Like when we first started feeling all smitten and we were sending each other love songs back and forth.
Yes.
This is a very much way that me and Brandy showed each other like what we were feeling on a day-to-day basis. So it's kind of dope that this is what we're doing to the people that rock with us. It's like our own personal love letter to them.
Except for those were all up. There were no like, hey, I'm low, I'm going through it.
Nah, that's very true to what we was feeling.
There's no like Keith Sweat on there. Like there was no.
There's no Keith Sweat on this either. But
there was no baby making music. It wasn't none of that. Did you put some baby making music?
There's some baby making music on there. It's like one or two, but
I haven't made it through the whole place. I've seen all the songs, but I haven't listened to all of them.
For sure, it's dope. It's dope. So. If you're listening now, if you go to the description on whatever platform you're listening on, if you go to the episode description, you'll see a link there.
But it is only available to people who have iPhones, right?
For now, I have to go to Spotify and make the same list. I'm hoping that all the songs that are on Apple Music are also on Spotify. But hopefully by the time you listen to it, there's a Spotify link on there. If not, it will be in the future. Right now it's just Apple Music. So yeah, from us to you, the What They Never Told Us soundtrack. Okay, I should know some foolishness was coming.
It had been too long.
What's been too long?
It was a whole 6 minutes before anything happened. Like,
oh, you had to.
That's pretty good.
You had to break it up.
That's pretty good.
Okay, I'll be here for it.
I'm maturing.
All right. Okay. So for today, this topic hit me out of nowhere. And I want to talk about this idea of the law of attraction. Okay. And I know that means something different in the real definition of, or what the law of attraction really is. But what I mean by that is, how do you function in a relationship when you're attracted, or when there's something about somebody else that attracts you? Let me ask you.
That's cheating.
So let's start there. That's good. That's good. Let's start there. Is it wrong to feel attracted to somebody while you're in a relationship?
Yes. I mean, so I feel like you have to define what's your level of attraction. Like, I can look at people and say he's attractive, like he looks good. Maybe, I don't know, his personality, what draws me to them. But to say that I'm attracted to somebody, it shows like a desire for them, in my opinion. And I don't think you should be desiring anybody else in your relationship, especially if it's somebody that's like close up on you that you have access to.
So I'm talking about pre-desire.
Well, then it's not attractive. Like, can you think other people like you?
Let's define attraction. So attraction is any attribute that kind of like pulls you in closer, right? You about to Webster it?
I am. I want to make sure that we.
So let me give you what I think it is,
okay,
and you tell me if I'm wrong. So it's any attribute or something that makes, that pulls you in or whatever, right? Attraction, literally. So number one, I don't think that we can base our definition of attraction on what attracts us, right? So for you, physical attraction might not mean anything to you. So you can think someone's attractive and that might not pull you in. You could be around a bunch of cute dudes and that might not do anything for you. But for someone else who really is into that, and that's a big thing in terms of what attracts them, it might be a different story for them, because that's what attracts them specifically. Hit us with the okay. Miriam.
I didn't go to my Miriam is where I find my anointed.
It doesn't. Just give us a definition.
Let me see. It says the action or power of evoking interest, pleasure, or liking for someone or something, a quality or feature that evokes interest, or well, that's a place. So that's
a quality that evokes interest, right?
Yes.
So
you should not be interested in another person while you're in a relationship.
People are interesting. That's the truth. Like, now this is what we have to be honest about. And this is like the difficult conversation. This is what they never told y'all. Being in a relationship does not stop you from finding things attractive. Like, if I find intelligence and good conversations attractive qualities, that's not going to shut up just because I'm with you, right?
Absolutely not.
So I don't know. I feel it's kind of wrong saying it's cheating if you are attracted to somebody, because how do you shut that off?
So to me, like to verbalize the fact that you're attracted to somebody, right? Like, would you ever come in the room and be like, "Yo, it's somebody at work and I'm attracted to them"? Absolutely not. So it's cheating.
No, I wouldn't say that just because I'm sane and I have intelligence. Now saying
You're saying and you have intelligence.
yeah,
right.
why would I ever verbalize
You
that
value your
to my
safety.
exactly? Why would
'Cause it's
anybody say
wrong.
that? Now I wanna pan back to our first What They Never Told Us podcast. The first time you ever jumped in front of the people and did a Facebook Live, it was on this very subject. Kind of. We were talking about work wife versus husband.
You have
what
that,
you
but
said.
You have that concept so twisted.
Now, I'm just going by what you said now, and I just went back and watched it before we got on here.
Okay,
so,
and I said what?
Not exact words, because I don't know how you do. What you communicated was this. You said just because you're with someone doesn't stop you from, being attracted to somebody.
From noticing people. Like,
you didn't say notice. You said attracted. Now, that's a
Okay.
word you said.
Okay. Well, my opinion has changed.
That's good. That's okay. But here's the thing. What's a quality you find attractive?
Humor.
So now that you're with me, that just shuts off.
It doesn't shut off. I can still say somebody is funny and not be attracted to them.
What if
to me, when you say you're attracted to it, there's something pulling you, like you want to be around it, you want to have a piece of it, you want to be involved in it. Like it's pulling me in. I'm attracted to it.
This is a harsh reality, and maybe it's different for women. I can't speak for women.
Don't say even women. Just speak for yourself.
No, I'm speaking for people and people I've spoken to. There are people who get attracted while in a relationship.
It's dangerous.
Like they have attributes that starts to pull them in. Now, this is where your integrity, your loyalty kicks in and makes you say, nope, I gotta stay away from you. I'm not even gonna talk to you. I can't be in the same room with you. Like, there's some people I could be in the same room with, just me and another woman at work, and I'm good. Like, if I'm in a classroom talking with a coworker and the kids leave, I don't feel no ways. But it could be another woman. I'm like, this feels wrong. You can kind of feel when something's off, right?
Because you're attracted to her?
I'm not attracted to anybody at work. I'm giving a scenario of what it feels like when you're with somebody that you're attracted to.
I don't know. I don't share those sentiments. Like, for me,
Maybe you say I found nobody. So you're telling me there's never been a time where you've been in a relationship and you've been attracted to somebody else?
Yes, but I was like interested. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's not physically impossible to be attracted to someone.
Yeah, you're jumping to the worst case scenario where because someone has an attribute that's attractive means that you're interested and you want to pursue. I'm just saying that they possess qualities that are attractive to you.
No. So like when you just asked me, have I ever been in a relationship and been attracted to someone? Every time that I have been in a relationship and been attracted to someone, I've been tempted. Like, it's the attraction level where I'm like, it's like the attraction level where I'm like, okay, yeah, I could, like, I start thinking like, okay, I can mess with him. He could be my boyfriend. He could be my,
so that right there is evidence that this is something that real people go through.
Yeah, it happens. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen.
Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong because someone possessed an attribute that was attractive to you. You did something wrong when you noticed that and you didn't put up boundaries.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that there's a way to turn it off.
You were saying that it's wrong to be attracted to other people when you're in a relationship.
Okay. So if that's the way it came up, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
But when you're attracted, when I think of being attracted to someone, it means that you want like a part of them. You want them in your life in some kind of way. And I just think that that's dangerous.
And I don't think that that's what the definition says. It says something that evokes interest. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that you've made a decision to do anything wrong. It means that they possess a quality that you find attractive, right? So if you find humor attractive and there's a handsome man who's funny, that's not going to shut off. You just have discipline that's going to make it say like, you know what? I don't have eyes for him because I'm loyal. You know what I mean? That's a good thing.
But just because I find humor attractive doesn't mean that like every man, you know what I'm saying?
You're making this
every person that's funny.
Okay,
I'm
so
like, yes.
let's depart this from your personal life and let's just talk about the aspect of things that are attractive.
Yes.
Okay, so what else? You said humor.
Yeah,
Give me
of
another
course.
thing.
Looks.
What looks?
Yeah, like tall, bald head, kind of thick.
Okay.
Little mustache.
That never was your type before me, so I don't believe it.
Little beard. Drink a little coffee. I like that.
Okay.
You're not gonna give me this. Ain't nothing.
You making this real difficult. Real difficult.
No, but I mean, I do. I like tall guys.
Okay.
I mean, just handsome in general. Like if I find you handsome, there are different qualities that I think make somebody handsome. But personality, smarts,
Intelligence,
able to work a room, all those
Okay.
things are attractive to me.
Okay. So now let's say you go back to work in the office 5 days a week and they hire that exact guy, works the room.
I gotta quit. I'm just like,
It's a lot.
I'm
You're making this
I'm
so
be serious.
difficult.
Okay, I'm listening. They
That
hire
was-
him.
They hire him. You got to share office with him. You did. What's the dude you shared office with? Can you say his name? Do people listen to you? People listen to us?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name, but
You say that guy got replaced with this new guy who's
Okay.
funny, handsome, and all that. How do you think you could function in that environment where there's someone who possesses a lot of qualities that are attractive to you?
I don't know. I don't know how I could function. I mean, honestly, if I felt like I was attracted in a way that felt inappropriate, then I'm gonna have to request some changes happen at work. Like I need a new office or something like that. But if it's just, hey, he possesses qualities, I don't think it necessarily means that I'm interested in
Yeah.
him. I think that in order for me to develop that, and just speaking personally, I have to have some type of like constant interaction with you, just not look at you and say, hey, he's funny, he's cute, oh, I like him, or I'm attracted to him, whatever word we're using. So for me, if I recognize that, hey, there might be something else there, then I'm going to cut off communication that doesn't pertain to work, because I know it can get dangerous and it can get slippery. Because if I'm attracted to someone, like they pique something other than, hey, I just want to be your friend, like they pique a sexual interest or a romantic interest, that's to me what I think of when I say I'm attracted to them. They pique interest in one of those buckets, either romantic, either sexual, something like that. So I'm not going to communicate with somebody that I already feel feelings like that with, because I know that temptation is real and anybody could slip given the right circumstances. Now, let's say he's attracted to me too. Then what?
I think this is an area that a lot of people get tripped up on, because I don't think people are as self-aware as that. Like I think a lot of people in these scenarios don't have those conscious thoughts of, hey, you know what? This person is making me feel this. So let me, like, a lot of times you assume that you wouldn't do anything wrong.
Nah.
You assume, like, you know what? I never would do that. Like, I'm faithful, me and my girl and me and my man, we in a good space. So I'm not going to I wouldn't let my mind go there. You're just going to work and you're entertaining conversations. And next thing you know, like, you care about how you dress when you go to work, or you look forward to going to work, or you know what I mean? Like, it's just those little subtle things that people tend to fall prey to, and it ends up leading to infidelity because, you know, you're not as conscious of how to navigate this space. Because I'm a big believer in, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean the things that you find attractive are just gonna shut off. Like,
Absolutely.
they still very much so present, and being aware of that and being aware of what you're feeling and what's going on internally will lead to you being able to like set up firm boundaries.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is real subtle too. Like just because someone's funny, they might not even be like trying to make you laugh, right? But that's your thing. Like you enjoy someone who can make you laugh. And so you are around this person all the time and they're constantly keying. They're innocent, but now, like you said, you're seeking them out or you want to be with them or you look forward to talking with them because they invoke some type of emotional response in you, like you get happy or you get horny or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like that's dangerous to me. So I think being keenly aware of the fact that, hey, that's a trigger for me, I'd steer clear away from it as I could. And if you can't avoid it, I think voicing that to you helps. Like, hey, it's a situation now where I would be comfortable enough coming to you and be like, yo, I think you're cute.
Oh, nah, don't ever be.
I'm going to tell you.
Hey, look. Hold on, wait.
I'm going to tell you.
You wrong. Word it a different way. Huh? You're wrong about your impression of me that you think I'm emotionally intelligent enough to handle that conversation. Like, you don't know me like that, clearly. I couldn't handle that.
You couldn't handle me telling you that I think somebody else is cute?
Yeah, it's your wording.
So what I'm supposed to say?
There's this guy, they just moved into my office. I don't know, he just gives me weird vibes.
What? No, that would mean like he's a creep or something.
I'm good with that. Like, you don't have to elaborate. Just maybe the weird vibe is, it's a vibe. I don't like it. It's weird. I shouldn't be feeling these things in office. It's weird to you. I'm good. I don't need elaboration. You don't have to know it's weird because he's cute. It's just weird. And
I'm too honest for that.
Huh?
I'm too honest.
Nah,
for that.
you be lying about way pettier stuff.
Yes, petty.
That's petty.
But no, that's not petty. If it comes to my feelings and I have to interact with someone that I find physically attractive and it's piquing, I need to communicate that to you.
Yeah.
We need to talk through that. We need to be both on the same page about what's happening. Because then what I don't want to do is you poke up to the office party and you like, wow. He's handsome.
This the weird dude?
This him?
This the creepy guy?
Oh, that's kind of weird you meant. And then you formulating all types of stuff.
You said
in your
this guy
head.
was creepy. He work in the room. He's the life of the party. He got a 6-pack. Hold on, wait. That's a weird
Yeah, see? You trying to put stuff together already in your head.
Hold on, wait.
I need to communicate to you that, hey, there's somebody at work.
How would you say it? Let's play the role play right now. Boom. I just came in from work.
Yo, we got I got a new coworker. He's just started yesterday, and they done made me share an office with him, and he got the nerve to be cute.
Cute.
That's what I was telling you. Yeah, he cute. Like he
The
attractive.
back of my head is hot. I felt the blood rush to the back of my head. I've never felt that before. It's not even real. And I'm having a visceral response.
Yeah, like you think I should
like
ask?
he's cute.
Yeah, I think he's cute.
What do you look like?
He's tall, light skin, green eyes.
You like light skinned dudes?
What are we doing? I'm just saying.
We're in the conversation.
Cute. I just think it's cute. You give me a little Justin Timberlake vibes. Got a little swagger. You think I should change office?
I almost cussed. You almost made me say profanities, girl. I'm a man of the cloth. I'm a man of God. Woo! Yes, I think you should. Do you need help moving your stuff? Because I'll go with you tomorrow.
So you can't. I would really come to you like that. Like, yo, I think he's kind of cute.
I don't like it.
So you want me to hide from you if I think it's somebody?
No, I want
attractive?
you to tell me in a way that's not so blunt.
I don't know how to do that.
There's a guy. I'm uncomfortable being in the room with him. I don't know. It's just I feel uncomfortable. I don't even know why you feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
Just tell me why.
What if you want to fight him? Like, what if you think he like does things to make me uncomfortable? You need to know. You need to put your big boy pants on and just understand. And vice versa. Like, if there was somebody that you worked with that you found attractive,
all right, we're gonna flip it.
Me.
Flip it. Okay. Now I'm going to do with you and you tell me how to do
Okay.
it. Man, they hired this new social worker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I would say it. See, I'm not like you. I'm trying to find the words. Do you want me to say how you would?
No, I want you to tell me what you would say.
They got this social worker and...
Why you got your face like that? She stank?
Nah, I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Like she's... I don't know if she's like flirting with me.
Oh, so you gonna put it on her?
Nah, listen. No, don't interrupt. Don't do this. I don't know if she's like flirting with me, but like when she comes around, like, I don't know, like I feel goofy. Like I get the giggling like a schoolboy. I don't like the feeling like.
Oh, so you
and she always coming in and out of my office. I don't know.
So you like that? You like her?
I don't like her.
Is she cute?
I mean, I guess if you did that type of thing.
What type of thing? Like, what?
I
Describe
don't
it.
know. She's kind of shapely. She's got like a, like
Oh, she got a
a.
big butt.
I mean, I guess I don't know like how you measure a big butt. See, I can't do this. I can't. I don't possess the ability.
So, what's your plan for handling those feelings?
I mean, we work together. I don't know what to do. Yeah, well, I don't know.
But
Tell her to stay away from me.
is her coming in and out of your office all the time? Is it necessary? Is it part of her job?
It's hard to gauge. Like, she's really new. She deals with kids a lot. So, I mean, she hasn't come in for anything personal yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can communicate with my other coworkers and say, hey, if there's an issue, we'll talk about it in a shared location.
Yeah, I would
Prison office
say
or something.
be safe. Don't put yourself in a position to get beat up. So make sure
The
that
back of my head is sweating again.
make sure that you're creating safe distances and that you're not alone with this person. And if you ever feel like it's crossing the line, you need to tell me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I would ever have that conversation.
You wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. I
wouldn't.
can tell by the way that you're talking to me right now
But
that you wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't. But here's what I would do. I would definitely put up boundaries myself. Like, I know when I feel things, and complete what's the word? Transparency. I've been in this exact scenario, right? At the end of my last marriage, when my self-image was just incredibly low. I'm not making an excuse, but I'm just giving you an idea like what my frame of mind was at the time. Close to 400 pounds, self-esteem dumb low. My marriage is the pits. We barely talking. They hired this girl, right? And the atmosphere that I was working in is with kids, so it was fun already because you're working with kids. And I just found myself really looking forward to the days that she worked, right? When the kids went to sleep, we always had insightful conversations, deep conversations. I'm talking with her in a way that I wish I could talk to my wife. The days then I noticed the way I was dressing was different. I was trying to come down the days. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And this is what broke the camel's back. It was wintertime. I didn't have a winter coat. It was freezing. And one day she came in, she bought me a coat. And I didn't lie about it. As a matter of fact, I went and told my ex-wife, and I said, hey, this girl, she bought me a coat. She said, she bought you a coat? I said, yeah, she bought me a coat. And she was like, why'd you do that? I said, I don't have one, like I just
left out all the other stuff.
Oh yeah, I didn't say when she comes, I really like how I dress, and I left all of that out. But the truth of the matter is, like, I didn't put up boundaries during that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just in the throes of it. And if I'm being 100% honest with, even though I didn't consciously tell myself this, I was enjoying the interactions.
Absolutely.
100%. Now, this is where we need to revisit an old conversation. Our very first episode of What They Never Told Us Before was What They Never Told Us. Have you changed your stance? I heard you say you kind of switched your definition of attraction.
Yes.
Have you changed your stance on the work wife, work husband take?
No, because I think because you put the wife and the husband, standards upon that it automatically means in some people's head that there's like a level of attraction or flirtatiousness or something that happens in that. That's not necessarily what that means. It's just somebody that you spend a lot of time with at work, your work wife, your work husband. Like, Karen could have been considered my work wife because that's how much time.
But I no one ever calls that.
What they do actually though.
Who?
Or your work mom or your work sister, whatever.
But you know why they never call another woman your work wife?
Well, because it's just inappropriate, I guess.
It's not. I mean, it's 2022. There's no relationship that's inappropriate now. They got every letter in the alphabet.
I've heard of two girls and a work wife. Like, oh, she's your work wife?
Extremely rare though, right?
I wouldn't say
Most of the time they just call you guys friends.
Yeah, unless it goes like further, like we're always around each other. That's what it indicates. Now, if you are someone who's calling you, now that situation, that was your work wife. She buying you stuff, y'all confiding in each other. Like, that was in the context in which you put it to me. Like, that's what that means. I'm just saying it doesn't always have to be somebody that you're attracted to.
For sure.
I just want to put that in there. So no, my opinion hasn't changed about it not being inappropriate if there's nothing else going on. If there's no level of attraction there, then no, I don't think it's inappropriate for somebody to deem it that.
this is where I think, and maybe it's because of my experience in this area that makes me a little bit more like,
Yeah.
Anytime you share a geographical location with somebody over an extended period of time, routinely, add in the factor that there's traits about them that you find attractive, I think it warrants a higher degree of issue. I mean, look, Good Morning America, what's the just I don't know who they are.
It might not be just because they work together, but yeah, I see that.
Yeah, like you're with each other all the time. Most of the time you're at work more than you are at home. You spend more time at work than you do at the crib most of the time. So it's not insane to think that you build at minimum a rapport with people.
Absolutely.
Now, those rapports turn into friendships. Friendships turn into other things, right? There's a lot of people who met their husband and wife at work.
That they don't have to. Judge Judy worked with Patrick Hawkins Bird for 20-something years, and they never developed a friendship. Judge Judy and her bailiff.
I don't see that happening
They
in anywhere.
never developed a friendship.
I feel like that's a bad example. I don't see them.
It's not. You can work with people.
I don't
even that
see
you
those
might
two
be
developing a
attracted to.
relationship in any facet, in anywhere, under any
So I'm
circumstances.
saying, don't get nobody out. It's possible to work with people that you have
I'm not giving.
to, and
I'm not condemning anybody. I'm just saying that when you're not intentional about how you move in certain scenarios, it heightens the possibility that you're going to fall. Many a men have been tripped up. Many a women have been tripped up just from them not operating with some wisdom in these scenarios.
Absolutely.
Because we assume just because I'm in a relationship, like, no, like, it ain't that.
I think there are key things that prevent those things from happening. One, if it's truly somebody that you like are working with, or maybe you're just always in their space and you feel some type of a level of attraction to them, you need to keep it business. Like, y'all shouldn't be talking about anything that is of a personal level, because once you start to bond on the level that's outside of just general niceties,
Yeah.
that evokes emotion. Like, say if now I'm talking to you about my kids, like that when I talk about my kids, it comes from a certain place for me because I love them with all that I have, right? So if I start to talk to somebody that I'm attracted to about them, they give me feedback, or I start to confide in them about my relationship when it's good, but then eventually maybe a bad spot happens and now you've become my person that I talk to, and now you're giving me relationship advice, and I don't know what place you're coming from when you're giving me that advice. Maybe you giving me advice like, oh, nah, sis, he shouldn't be doing that. I remember I did that with my girl, and I was definitely cheating on her at that time. Now you planting thoughts in my head.
We call that,
you just a friend.
We call that the dirty Mac. That's called
whatever.
We call that the dirty Mac. That's the dude that plays the friend zone. It's a whole dude. He plays the friend zone.
Girls too.
It's called the long game, not the short form game where you just try to kick something real quick, hope you get in there. Nah, you long form. You in here for the long haul, planting seeds here and there.
Girls too.
Nah, trust me, he's cheating on you. What? Yeah, trust me, I know. You deserve so much more than that.
That's why I'm not like, I feel like they're just healthy boundaries that should have a place in every relationship. And if it's not a friend that you know that I communicate and talk to on a regular basis, and even in that situation, I don't think I would be running to another man telling him about things that are happening in my relationship. It's why we had that conversation about people coming to you for advice, why I'm like, yeah, that's probably just not the best idea. Like, I get that there are some situations where we want to offer sound advice to people, but when it becomes routine and it becomes habit and you become that person for somebody to run to, it can become really dangerous.
Yeah, and this is where I think I struggle, and I think people like me struggle, because I firmly believe that God hardwired me to care about what people go through.
Absolutely.
And I think he hardwired me to attract people who want, you know what I mean? Like, I can't tell how many times I've been told, like, man, I just feel like I can talk to you. You know what I mean? I feel like I attract people like that. Not women in general, but just people in my life. You know what I'm saying? So for somebody like me who attracts those conversations and also feels an impulse to contribute to those conversations, it's harder to detect, right? So for me, I only feel the unction to like really put up those defenses when I feel something. And I got to be more perceptive. Like, okay, you know what? Her interaction with me, or this ain't even an issue that she really needed to come to me for. Like, she just wants to talk. And it's harder to recognize that. But you put me in a geographical location with somebody, I can't even imagine a scenario where I'm just talking about work. I haven't worked any job where I've been that professional at all, ever.
That's a problem.
I don't know if it's the jobs I work or what it is, but I mean, that just seems awful. Who wants to work a job where that's all you do is work the job? You don't talk to the coworkers? What's up? How many kids you got? What's going on? You seem down today. What's up?
Yeah, I just don't feel like that's the place for you to be confiding in people like that. Like, you're at work to work. Like, you shouldn't be telling them about the things that happen in your home or feelings that you have about your relationship. Like,
I don't ever really seek advice. I'm never that guy. You know what I'm saying? I got a few people that I trust with that. I'm always the opposite end. And I don't know how to shut that off. When people come to me, I don't know how to be like, you need to talk to somebody else. I don't have the speech for that. You know what I mean? When people come with stuff, especially if I got some insight that I feel like is helpful, I'm just like, oh, I'm just in the mix with it. So I don't think I always know how to like steer that in the right way.
Yeah, I remember when you were working the job that you had, but before.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember how that drained you. And I remember how even when you didn't want to be that person because you had established that rapport with them, they just came to you whenever, regardless of what you had going on with your life. Russell's the person that I go talk to when I'm going through something. And I remember how much of a burden you thought that was.
It's true.
So
It's true. That was before I had Jesus for real and you. Now my cup full. I'm like, who need this? What's up? I'm pouring out today. What's up? What y'all need? It's different. So let me ask you this. How do we, we went over how to have the conversation, right? How do we establish that with the person that you're attracted to? Do you have a conversation with them? Like you tell them, or you tell the person you're with, like, hey, and I'm still on the fence about that. I'm not supporting to go tell the person that you with.
I mean,
hey,
you have to know
person.
your relationship and the person that you're in. I'm gonna come to you, but that don't mean everybody need to, because you might tell somebody that and he just flies into a jealous rage and can't ever unhear that information.
It's true.
So know who you with.
Maybe don't be with him too. Maybe not be with that guy as well. So what do you? Is there any?
I don't think if that person hasn't done anything that makes me feel as if they're also attracted to me, then I wouldn't say anything. So for instance, I didn't tell you this, but I went to drop off cookies the other day, and there's this car outside of the house that I'm going to drop cookies off with and he said, what's your name? And because I was like knocking on the door, so I'm thinking he like lived there because he was right outside the house. So I was like, Brandy. He was like, oh, well, who are you here for? And I said the name of the person that I was there for, but then he didn't say nothing. So I was just standing there like with the cookies, right? And I'm like, okay. So then I ring the doorbell, and when I come out, he's like, oh, so where you from? Like, you from here? You live? And then I realized, oh, he's trying to holler at me, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm from here, and I'm very married, and that's it. Like, I don't need to have this conversation with you anymore.
How you not telling me that?
Because it wasn't a big deal. Like, so stuff like that, again, not a big deal. And I am going to make it known off rip with almost any man who tried to talk to me. Like, number one, I'm married. Two, it ain't going down like that. So in that scenario, I think I would do the same thing. Like, I would put in more emphasis on the fact that I'm married. Like, if we're in the office and we're having a conversation, yeah, my husband, hey babe, I'm calling you, to make that known. But I don't think I would have a conversation like, hey, I find you attractive, so I'm not gonna talk to you about anything that doesn't have anything to do with work. No, but I think there's covert ways to let somebody know that, hey, when you try to talk to me about something that's not work related, I'm good.
It's different for guys, and maybe I've just not been that guy, but are girls usually that forward? Like, I always hear about the guy who's just like, yo, what's up with you, what's your name, you know what I'm saying, where you from? Like, they initially like off rip trying to kick game. usually hear about girls doing that like that.
I don't know. You just have to say from your experience. I am poor, but every girl's not like me.
Yeah.
If I like you, I'm gonna let it be known that I like you.
It's like I don't like you because you're here delivering cookies. You know what I mean? Like,
you mean just like trying to holler at you on the street?
Yeah, like you just walking by. Hey, yo, what's up, man? What's up? What's your name? Like I don't usually hear girls doing that.
Yeah.
So
we usually don't have to. It's usually y'all always beat us to the punch.
For sure. So it's harder to recognize, right? Like that day we went out to eat. And the girl was, at QW was making the food.
Oh, yeah.
And the food was like, she did a terrible job. She had an attitude.
She definitely had an attitude.
And we were like, yo, I hope she don't never make our food again. But I went back by myself, right? And she was hooking my bowl up, like giving me extra scoops of chicken, little stuff like that. Then maybe like, and then she was being real like, I don't want to say flirty, but very nice. So nice, in fact, that it's like, okay, yo, what's up?
But you took all the freebies and all the extras, and you was thank you so much. I
What's
know
supposed
you.
to say?
I know you.
What am I supposed to say? Hey, excuse me, ma'am. Take
you
that extra.
It's a little bit too much guacamole
You got too
on
much
there.
dip on your chip. Don't you put another scoop of chicken in that bowl? I know what you up to. Loose here, Jessica.
I am married. Let it know. You should
That's
just go like this. Scratch your nose like this.
That's way too much queso for a married man. What's wrong with you? Nah, like, so in those scenarios, I never know how to catch it, right?
I feel like that is innocent stuff. Like, you're not probably ever going to be
workplace.
on this woman. Yeah.
Workplace,
yeah,
right?
no, you got a coworker that's like that.
Right now?
Yeah, absolutely. See, I'm able to pick up on stuff that you don't pick up on. But there's a coworker who, when we see her out, she is very overly communicative.
Is it an
with you.
old coworker?
No.
Or a current?
Current. But won't say mum's the word to me. Like, I will try to put feedback into the conversation, and she completely ignores me.
A coworker right now?
Yes. I'm going to tell you afterwards who it is.
I know you're talking about Miss Higgins.
How you going to just go? I am not talking about Miss Higgins. Hey, Tracy.
I'm about to say, hold on, because that's like my work mama. No. Don't do that. I know you lying. All right, yeah, we'll talk. Because I'm like, huh, who? But in these scenarios, right, where you're just working and it doesn't seem like anything else, right? Mm-hmm. You have friendly conversations with people, and it's sometimes hard to evaluate, okay, this person's feeling you or this person's feeling me.
But it doesn't matter how they feel. How do you feel? Are you attracted?
So now this is good. So if I'm not attracted, I don't need to put up no boundaries.
I mean, I still think you should put up boundaries,
but
you're putting up boundaries because you see somebody is like hitting on you. Obviously, you need to put up a boundary. But if it's just casual conversation, maybe you talk about your kids, maybe you talk about something, oh, my wife did that too, blah, 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 whatever. Like, but if you don't have that same level of attraction, I don't think you have to be like, no, I can't talk to you because you're a woman and that we're at work. Like, it don't have to be like that.
Yeah.
I think it's slippery when you find yourself being attracted or that person makes it obvious that they're interested in you. Then but the little subtle flirting and things like that, you can't necessarily control what somebody does. You can only control you. But if she comes to you like your old coworker and like, hey, I got a husband and I still want to hook up with you. Yeah, you need to put up some boundaries.
Yeah, that's a little, it's a little like, duh. Like,
I feel like all of it is like,
there's a space in between that's like, I think confusing, especially when you're not the one that feels anything. Like when you're literally just coming to work and you're literally just having a conversation and you're not aware of a like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's my thing though. Are you not aware? Or
it's hard
are you
for
just
me.
Like, it ain't in my head. So
no, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's hard for me. It's hard for me because when I go in the room, I'm gonna be funny. People gonna laugh. I'm used to a certain type of interaction just based on my personality. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times the reaction I might get from based on just my personality might be the reaction somebody gets when they're liked by somebody, right? Mm-hmm. So if somebody's laughing at you at your jokes, like like they're like, you laughing a little too hard. But it's not weird for me because I'm really funny. Mm. Am I not?
Mm. I don't think you're as funny as you think you are. Especially in that scenario.
I'm Def Jam comedy funny.
Okay,
I'm
well then maybe you need to be a little less funny.
I'm Kings of Comedy
Maybe you
funny.
need to be a little less funny at work then.
I can't turn it off.
You can.
It's me.
You can.
It's where I am, okay? Don't do that.
You can.
But No, I'm saying like, and this has been a common thing, I think everywhere except for this relationship, where I'm constantly trying to show like, oh, what's the argument? She like you. No, she don't. Mm-hmm. Yes, she do. No, she doesn't. Okay. She was laughing all hard at your jokes. Or, okay, why she got to come to you for that? Or why she blah, 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 blah. But in my mind, I'm like, this interaction that you're saying is the same interaction I have with everybody. Not every woman, everybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's harder for me to decipher, right? If I'm just a dude in a corner and I'm quiet and I'm more introverted, maybe that's more easy to pick out. But when, you know what I'm saying, your personality is like more, comes off more extroverted, mm-hmm. right? And it's harder to see it.
Then I do believe for people like you have to be extra cautious. Like you probably have to be more cautious than the dude that's in the corner, because people are attracted to you in that way, and you do have such a big personality. Like you have to be a little bit more careful with how you interact with people of the opposite sex, because it can come off to the other person as flirty. Mm-hmm. Like for me, I think why we don't have to deal with that in our relationship is because I know who I'm in a relationship with. Yeah. I know your personality, but I also know women. So if I'm looking and assessing a situation, and I believe this for the other people that you were probably in a relationship with too, like we see stuff that you probably don't see because you're just used to people reacting to you in a certain way. But a woman can look at another woman and be like, yeah, if I like that dude, I'd be doing that same stuff too. And it might not always be the case. The woman might not always like you, but it's a indicator that you need to watch your interactions.
Yeah. This is the first relationship I've been in with someone who matched my energy in this regard, right? Like, I think for whatever reason, women I've been with in the past have always been more so drawn to the background, like quiet in the room. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They're just not the, hey, what's up, y'all? You know, you're more.
I'm not that either.
You're not friendly. You don't like being around a bunch of people. But I will say this, when we're around people, mm-hmm. you're communicating. Like yes. when we go into a room, it's not just like, I'm here with Russell. Mm-hmm. It's not that. It's like,
absolutely not.
Hey, what you doing? I see you with your, you know, like you're.
I'm a movement by my own self. Let's be clear.
Okay, we get it. We get it, sis.
Let's be clear.
You're really you. We get it. But in that regard, it's been an adjustment for me. Like, mm-hmm. I remember, I can't remember who it was, but I remember for the first time in my life being like, is she flirting?
Me?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. But you weren't. You weren't.
Yeah, I know.
I just had never.
I don't even know what scenario it was, and I know I wasn't.
I can't remember who it was, but I remember, were we at the fair? We were somewhere. Mm-hmm. There was a bunch of people around. Mm-hmm. And you were just talking. I know it now because I have more experience with you now, and this is just your personality. Mm-hmm. Like, you're like, okay, I see you a little, you know, you talk about his fit or whatever. Like, mm-hmm. But I was so used to just me being the, hey, what's up, fam? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And, you know, you know, like, she's just cut off to the side. You're like, I'm with him. But you in the mix, like, you communicate. I'm finding myself off to the side looking at y'all talk. I'm like,
wait a minute.
Y'all giggling a little too hard.
And so you can see how a woman who's in a relationship with you could be like, yeah.
That's where I was going with it.
A little extra.
That's where I was with. It wasn't extra. I know you. That's just your personality. Mm-hmm. But I saw for the first time, like, oh, okay. That's what that looked like. All this giggling. She like ain't that funny. Hell, be quiet. Like, that's where my mind was at. Look, it's just, I think it's important to have these conversations because this is kind of that gray area that we don't base conversations in. Mm-hmm. We just assume that people know how to move in this space, right?
So what do you feel about, like, if I have, like, so I have a good friend. We don't communicate as much as we used to, especially now that I'm in a relationship. But I have a good friend who's a male. Mm-hmm. Like, how are you okay with your girl having, like, a best friend of the opposite sex?
Are they gay?
No. Really? Why?
It depends on what level of friend.
Okay, so you're okay with my friend, my male friend.
I don't even see y'all talk. Like I
Well,
remember
we
when
text more than anything.
how often?
I mean, it's really comes in spurts. Like
How often?
we'll go like a month or two without texting, and then when we start texting, like say, hey, something's funny, or he sees me, or I see him, or whatever, then we'll text every day for a week, maybe. And it just depends. Like I don't know.
About what?
Be for real. We're
What
trying to have a
y'all
conversation.
talking about? Like, what are the like conversations?
Well, we talk about all types of stuff, like what's going on right now. Like most of the time, like he's trying to get us to come hang out, or you know what I'm saying. We're talking about the kids or what's going on in each other's life. He listens to the podcast, so we talk about the podcast. You know, all types of stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you did.
I didn't know. I'm talking about like I just never see y'all talk. So I'm like, oh, she's at his friends, but they don't really talk like that.
Yeah,
I didn't know y'all text.
Yeah, we don't like call each other on the phone.
I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
It's news.
not
What was the question? Am I comfortable?
Yeah, like does my relationship, and you've seen us text, you've seen us talk on the phone. Like he's pulled up at the house.
I remember when you first told me about him, and I was like, y'all cool? Like, cause I didn't know, I had no idea that y'all were as close as you were. And you were like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know. And you're like, man, I've literally like slept in the same bed with him. He ain't never tried nothing like, and that didn't make me feel any better. I would be like, what? You did what? No, I'm joking. I'm joking around. I'm comfortable with that relationship.
Yeah.
But it's rare. I can't see myself being comfortable with a lot of dynamics like that.
So like I see like sometimes friendships where, so in your case, right, where it's an ex, but now we're now friends. If I was friends with my ex.
You talking about Tat?
No, I'm just saying anybody. Jeez, you just put a name all out there like that. That's what we doing.
Most people who know me know her already, and the ones who don't know
Somebody
me,
about to go on Facebook right now. Let me see who his ex-wife is.
it's good.
That may
If
be
they're gonna need a lot,
for.
they're gonna need to know a lot more than that.
All they gotta do is go to your friends list.
It's true.
No, but like, let's say, I don't know, just anybody that I used to.
Let's
kick
say
it
that with you. Are you talking about me or you?
Well, me, like if it's the opposite, right? Because you still maintain not friendships, I would say, but you still have communication with a lot of people that you were in a relationship with. Not a lot.
Okay, I'm about to say you put a lot on it, sis.
3, and some
When you
have,
say a lot of communication is not.
but you have communication with them, right? Whereas me, on the other side, I don't really communicate with any of my exes unless I have a kid with them.
Yeah.
So like, how open are you to that on the other side? Like if I just started talking to one of my exes, like, and I wanted to be friends with them, you cool with that?
No.
That's very interesting. So why is it a double standard?
It's not a double standard. If there would, no, let me say this. If when I met you, there was already a relationship that was formed and I came in and knew that and you told me about it, I've seen the interaction, I was like, okay, cool. But I think it's different when you start one. Like it would be weird for me if you said, hey, I want to be friends with my ex-boyfriend. I'd have so many questions like, well,
what if he's that coworker?
He started working with you? The one that you find cute?
I mean, obviously I find him
well,
cute.
definitely not. Absolutely not. Well,
does the previous established relationship change the way?
I think I need to know what friendship means, right? Do you just mean that like you're cordial? What does friendship mean? Are y'all going places together? Are you telling me like, hey, me and Bobo are about to go to the fair?
I don't have an ex named Bobo. I just want to say
that was a disguise name.
I just want to put that out because there's somebody in our town that has that name.
Really?
And I don't want people to be like,
girl, you know Brandy. You know Brandy used to mess with Bobo. There's somebody named Bobo here?
Yeah, there is.
Okay, my bad. I don't know what name to say. Give me a fake name.
It doesn't matter.
Jack. Me and Jack about to go to the fair. That's where I would draw the line because there's nobody from my past that I would even be comfortable going somewhere with.
Okay.
Like, I think about like we talked about one of my exes who I did music with.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, she was so much well ingrained within my team of people I work with, studio wise, part of my creative team.
Cut that off.
You know what I mean? You're so extra. But you know what I mean? I can't imagine me hitting you up being like, hey, I'm about to go. I just left a studio session. I'm about to go go to Denny's with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
But we had that conversation. Like, are you comfortable with me continuing to do music with this person? Had I said no, would you have stopped?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now here's the thing. You always play it really cool, and then I don't find out you don't be that cool with it.
But that's not true, because you had whole studio sessions and I didn't bother you at all.
Nah, that wasn't the one. I remember I came to you and I was like, hey, you know, this is somebody who, now granted, at the time we were just boyfriend and girlfriend, right?
Okay.
So I remember being like, hey, are you cool with us being friends? And you were like, oh yeah, that's cool. Then you saw me talk to her and giggle one time at a party.
It wasn't one time. We already talked about
You
this
giggled
on the
twice, 2
podcast.
times?
It was the leave and come back.
Yeah. So clearly a friendship is not cool with you.
I wouldn't say that.
It felt very much so like this ain't cool.
I wouldn't say that. There were some dynamics at play there that I didn't like.
It was the leave and come back that you didn't like?
And I feel like if it's somebody that's your friend, and this is the first time we had this conversation, so it's really weird. But if it's somebody that's your friend and you know that there's this sticky dynamic in between that, don't leave me out of that dynamic. You did not once introduce me to that person.
That's good.
So like y'all y'all have a relationship prior to me. I'm cool with you maintaining this relationship, but you don't even make an effort to be like, hey, this is my girl. No, you're just talking to her. You're giggling. You're cackling. You come to be back with me. She call you back. You go back. Now I'm like, oh, she trying to pull a power move on me. Okay, I see you, sis, but watch this. So that's a little bit more nuanced than just.
That's a good. Don't rush past that.
I'm not.
That's a good point that you brought up. Like, it's good comfort level wise when you have this dynamic to, like, in terms of, like, especially with the person you with, to bring them close to the dynamic.
Absolutely.
If it is something, because I'd say 9 times out of 10, this scenario not gonna work where you're friends with an ex. 9 times out of 10. But if that's the road y'all want to travel on for whatever reason, then you definitely would, like.
Your mate needs to be close up on that. Like, I need to see what a friendship with your ex looks like.
Yeah.
And if it's just a friendship when y'all at work, when y'all doing music, when it's convenient for one of y'all.
Yeah.
But when I'm around, I'm on the outside of that. I don't like that. For
sure. And I think at the time when I introduced that conversation, the space I was in was very much so like, I think we talked about this. I don't know how to have a contentious breakup. I've never done that. Like, for the most part, if we're ending things, I still know how to communicate. You know what I mean? You know where my heart's at, and just because our relationship is working, I don't mean like it's beef or anything like that. So it's harder to recognize those, like, because when you're mad at somebody, it's easy to cut them off. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm mad at you, it's easy to be like, don't talk to me no more. But when it's not that, and you still like want to check in and stuff, it's harder for me to recognize that. So it was these scenarios that helped me see, like, this don't work. You know what I mean? And sometimes remaining friends is just because you don't know how to let go. Right. And you want to, you know what I mean, hold on to some semblance of a person that you can't. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't recommend. I highly don't recommend. I think there's only one besides the mother of my children. There's only one ex that I have infrequent communication with, and that's just like a video sent to me on like Instagram or something, like a funny video or something that randomly comes in that I rarely respond to. I want to say on here, I rarely respond to. Say something so the silence isn't deafening.
I already know who it is.
I know you know who it is. I don't hide it.
But, well, you do, because I don't know this because you told me. I know this because I saw it.
Yeah, you be sitting right by me. I don't be like,
yeah, no. But I'm saying it ain't like you volunteered the information. I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but I'm just saying. So for me, that particular situation is still iffy because I don't know where that person stands. I know that when I was introduced, there was still very much feelings there. So now that we're married and it's been time, I don't know where she stands. If she still has feelings for you, that could just still be a way to hold on to you. So I just think
videos.
that it just, you have to be aware that everything that appears innocent ain't always
Well, we gotta
innocent.
have a conversation. I ain't know this.
I ain't saying nothing.
I know, but
see me,
which is rare for me because usually when you feel things,
cool
you
in the
say
game.
something.
I ain't saying nothing. But I'm just saying for you and for people who are like you, who just want to be nice, want to be liked, want to be, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to be the bad guy. You have to be able to see the other side of that. When people have feelings for you and they have access to you, it doesn't mean anything for you, but it still means something for that person.
Yeah.
I don't know where she is. I don't know how she feels. I've never even had a conversation with the girl, so I can't say. I'm just saying, be careful.
For sure. Oh, I hate when this happens on the podcast.
What?
I feel like this is having new conversations like this in front of everybody.
You feel away?
No,
I don't feel away.
I don't feel away.
Okay.
I don't feel away. But it's like the thing where like, what do we say? Like we don't. The first time you hear something, you don't want to hear it on a podcast.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm. Like you.
But this is not the first time you heard that from me.
The very first time I've ever heard this from you, emphatically.
What are you hearing? Let's go there first. What are you hearing me say?
That in lieu of like her sending me a video on stuff on Facebook or whatever, that you not knowing where she's at makes you like, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm never.
Yeah, because I don't want you to think that I'm telling you that has to stop.
I'm just saying I haven't heard that before this moment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not an issue. I'm good. I swear.
I know,
yeah.
but I'm just questioning that I ain't never heard that. But whatever.
So how do we
you
end
heard
up
it
here? How do we end up here? Yeah, I think bottom line is when you are in a relationship, in a marriage, you're still human, right? And if life was like a love song and you only had eyes for the person that you're with, I mean, I think that's perfect. But the truth is your eyes work regardless. So if it's a physical attraction, that's one thing. Maybe it's a personality, that's another thing. But when you feel those things, you have to be self-aware enough, right, to self-manage, right? Like before you can manage yourself, you have to be aware of yourself. You can't manage anything you don't understand.
Yeah, and I think a good rule of thumb is like, number one, you shouldn't be establishing physical or emotional connections with outside of your relationship. And even if you feel the need for that, it's time to assess some things in your relationship. Because in a healthy, happy relationship, yes, I might still find myself being attracted to people, but I don't want to act on those things like in any way. Not changing the way I dress, not changing the way I interact, not getting more excited about a thing than I was before. All of that indicates that there's something else there. And I think you have to govern yourself accordingly. Like nobody knows you better than you. So you know when your behavior is changing. You know when you feeling something beyond just, oh, I think this person is cute or they make me laugh. Like you know when it's tickling your fancy.
Tickling your fancy.
Yeah.
And don't give yourself so much credit. Like I know in your heart of hearts, you can't see yourself doing wrong by somebody that you love, but you're still human, right? And it's when you underestimate the devil and you overestimate yourself where you end up in trouble. Like boundaries. Like when you feel things, or if you just know someone possesses a quality that you find attractive, like that warrants you to just put up some defense. Now, where are you at with physical stuff that you see? Like, are you bothered by that? Like, if we out on a date, somebody walk by with like a girl walk by with a big booty, like, are you bothered by it? Like, if you see me looking?
I'm probably gonna point it out before you do. We've had this experience before where I'm like, did you see her booty? And you act like you Stevie Wonder. I don't see no booty, ain't no booty in the room. But I'm the type that I'm probably gonna point it out before you do.
You are always gonna point it out before me because I'm not even gonna look. Because my peripheral saw it before you did, and that's why I'm like this. I'm over here.
It'd be like, I ain't seen nothing. Who? She had a big booty? Where was a booty at? It's people with booties in this room? Like, to me, it'd be extra. Because I'm like, obviously, you see this big old booty that just walked right here. But I don't have a problem with you noticing it, right? Now, if you call it out like, dang, she got a fat, okay,
So
then I'm
when-
gonna be like, all right.
So what do you think
It's a
my
little
reaction is
extra.
gonna be when you go, "Oh, babe, she got a big booty. Look at her butt." What do you think my
Then
reaction is
that-
gonna be?
To me, that's like me giving you permission to comment.
But I'm
like-
not even gonna look though.
Like, that's ridiculous. Or the thighs don't match. Say something petty so I could know that you see it, but like you don't like it.
Nah. What if I do though?
No, I mean, I'm cool with you being like, yeah, I saw that. It
It's-
doesn't bother me.
I know it
at
don't
all.
bother you, but this is game. Men, if you can learn to control your eyes, you'll know how to control your man, your peen. I don't know what's a word to say that's like a family show appropriate. Like when you can be disciplined enough to control where your eyes go, and it's such a slippery slope. I don't know if it's the same for women. I can only speak on men, but it's such a slippery slope. Like,
No, I don't know. Did we talk about it on the podcast where I said I called that guy Officer Bay?
no,
Did
we didn't.
We just talked about it with ourselves.
Yeah.
So set the scenario up real quick. I'm on a girls trip and we're in Atlanta and we're in this like food court scenario. And I ain't gonna call my girls out because they all got somebody too, but we all seen this guy, right? And I was like, okay, Officer Bay. My girlfriend was like, oh, so we just, we just calling it out like that. I'm like, what? It's no problem. Like, obviously, I think he's cute. I'm not calling him bae like he my bae. It's like a slang term. But when I brought the conversation back to Russell, he was like, yeah, that was inappropriate. You shouldn't have said that. So, like, for me, you're okay with me seeing it, but just don't call attention to the fact that I seen it. Because I'm not blind. Like, I see guys and I see that they're attractive. Like, I didn't speak to him. He didn't hear me say that. It was just a conversation between me and my girls. But you were like, nah, that's not cool.
I think if your friend said it, like if
My
even
friend's a
before,
little bit more reserved than I am.
I think if your friend called it to me, said something before I did, that's an indication that it's not a me thing. I think it's just like
Well, you weren't there.
like in the same way. If I saw a big butt with you and you want me to go, dang.
But I was saying I wasn't with you. I was with my girls, and I just made.
So it's only a problem.
No.
Pause. No pause. Pause. So it's only a problem if you're with me. So if you were with me and said, "Okay, Officer Bay," not a problem.
I don't think it was a problem.
No pause. If you were with me, would you do that?
Would I say Officer Bay?
Yes.
Probably not. But I'm with my girls.
So hold on.
But I told you I didn't want you
Pump
saying,
your
dang.
brakes and let me talk.
No.
Jeez. Relax. If it's a problem in front of me, it's a problem away from me. That's what I'm saying. If you wouldn't do it in front of me, don't do it away from me.
No, I hear you. That's why I said if you saw a girl with a big butt, I wouldn't want you to say, dang, she got a fat. Like, I wouldn't want you to say that. But if you with your boys, I understand that the way that y'all talk is different than when you with me.
I feel you.
As long as you're not acting on it.
I'm just saying, if it's a problem in front of me, it's a problem away from me.
Again, I get where you're coming from. And we had a conversation after the fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, I see where you stand now, and I would never call another dude Officer Bay or Fireman Bay or whatever it is. Because now I know where you stand. I still don't feel like it's wrong, but I'm never going to do nothing that's disrespectful.
I don't
towards
think
you.
it's. I'm going to be honest with you.
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I think the setting is what made me feel more like
Because there was somebody else around.
other people around,
Mhm.
and the fact that somebody else recognized it and was like, it made me be like, well, I don't know. Look at your setting. Like, you at the woman now are loose. Talk about it's the setting.
I wasn't at the conference, first of all. I was at the food court.
Like, if you at Applebee's
In a
and
whole
it had-
nother place.
if the setting was different, maybe it would have felt different. But like, I don't know, the way the scenario, when you told me, I was like, I don't know how the story feel. I don't know.
You didn't like the other fact that somebody else recognized and pointed that out.
Yeah, I think it
I get
made
that.
me more uncomfortable with it. You know what I mean?
I get
don't
that.
know.
Listen, I know that I have no filter, and some of the times when I think something and I say it, it has a high shock value. Like, you tell me that all the time. Like, you just be saying stuff for shock value. Really, I don't. It'd be stuff that's really happening in my head, and I just happen to
That's
speak it out
alarming.
loud. It is what it is. I am who I am. But I can also recognize like when something makes somebody else uncomfortable and change that behavior. Like if you were to tell me I don't like it when you do X, Y, and Z, even if I don't find a problem with it, I'm going to change my behavior. And I think it's relevant to our conversation because when we talk about things like you being in a room and like your other girlfriend's like, hey, you being a little too friendly or she cackling a little too hard, you don't see anything wrong, so you feel like you don't have to change your behavior. That's not the truth. I can see where if something makes somebody that I'm with uncomfortable, even if I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong, it's time to check my behavior because I don't want to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, even if I do think it's innocent. Because I could have the best intentions again, but somebody else doesn't see it that way. You're somebody else. If you take it that way, it's a possibility that the person that I'm talking to could also take it that way.
Yeah.
So I feel like govern yourself accordingly. And when you can't, that's why I'm going to come talk to you and say, hey, this just happened. I tell on myself all the time, like, I might have did something that you don't like. Let me tell you what it is. Because I don't ever want it to come back to you and then it be misconstrued. I'd rather be the one to tell you at all times. That's why if I find somebody attractive, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, this subject's close to my heart because I've seen what it looks like when infidelity creeps in. You know what I mean? And I strongly desire to be a faithful man. Like it's something I strongly desire. And I see it trip up so many men. You know what I mean? I see so many people. Yeah, not men. I see it trip up so many people in general, right? And I think just discipline and loyalty is in such short supply in our day and age. So these conversations have got to be had. They got to be had. Like the news about Derrick Jackson and his wife, you know what I mean? They're already separated, but you know, it just reignited all those old stories and stuff that happened. And I know higher a platform goes, you know what I mean, the more issues that it brings along with it, you know what I mean? Like even with TikTok and Instagram and those, you know what I mean, that little bit of a platform that grew from that, like I see how easy it is to get tripped up, you know what I mean? Like when, especially like somebody like a Derrick Jackson, right, who's speaking to these issues, right? And when you're saying things that are wise or just good sense, don't matter if you're doing that or not, you're just saying all the right things on a consistent basis. And when people come to you and are looking at you for those things and they're vulnerable and they're in a bad place in life and they hitting you up like, oh, I pray that I could find a man like, and like that right there, it just opens you up for stuff, right? So,
and although it is easy to be tempted, I don't think it's as hard to be loyal as the world will make us think. Like we've changed so many things about monogamous relationships and now we poly everything and we can be in a relationship with whoever and whatever we want. And that's cool, but it's not hard to determine what you want and stick to that. To be loyal, it takes desire and it takes discipline. You have to have a desire to be loyal. And then you have to discipline and act accordingly. Like
those words are easy to say.
Nah, it's easy. Trust me, it's easy. I don't care. You can be tempted all you want to. If you don't have a desire to be something, then you won't be that.
It's easy what?
What? It's easy to be loyal. It's easy to be faithful.
I think in good scenarios it is. I think it just depends on where you at. If you're the girl who's with the dude that's cheated 2 times and you're not being emotionally fed and you're in emotional lack and you're starved emotionally and you go to work and somebody is dangling in front of you all the stuff that you're not getting at home, you never know what it can do. I think in that scenario,
it'll change your desire. But
100%. I'm not giving anybody out. No. I'm not saying cheating is right. I am saying that it's not always easy. Sometimes it's hard to do, but I think something being difficult is not a green light to avoid doing what's right.
Yeah, I just
You know
think
what I
that
mean?
we as a people, we lack discipline. We feel like we can have whatever we want when we want it. We're living a microwave generation, and we don't feel like we have to deny ourselves of things. And when you get into that mindset that like, nah, I'm entitled to have this. I can have this because I'm not getting this at home. That's your desire and that's
Yeah.
your discipline.
Yeah.
And then that makes you feel like you're justified in doing something wrong. Or when you're presented with a plethora of options, you know what I'm saying? Your desire to be loyal to one person can then change. But if you desire to be loyal and you can discipline yourself to be that, it's very easy to be that. It's when we get pulled away and those things change that we just flounder. But
Yeah. I just say, even if it gets difficult, I think you still gotta like try, and not even try. You still gotta do it. You know what I'm saying?
or just
Like,
don't be in a relationship.
I just now this might be a different episode because I know we well past our time, but I think you can be in a relationship and it can still find it times difficult, right?
No, I'm saying
yeah.
if you don't want to be faithful.
Nah, I think you can want to be faithful and it still could be difficult. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's still doing it when it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to paint the picture like, yo, it should be easy. Like, cause I know that that's not always the case. Like, you could be in some scenarios where it's not easy, but that doesn't exempt you from doing what's right. It means, okay, this is where you make hard pivots, hard adjustments. This is where you say, I'm not leaving the house. This is where you say, I'm blocking numbers. This is where you say, discipline.
That's what I was saying.
Discipline isn't always easy.
I'm not saying it's not easy. Discipline is not easy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay.
I'm
That's what
saying,
I was getting mixed up on.
No,
I'm like,
no. If you want to be loyal, though, if you want to be faithful, those are the things that it takes
Absolutely.
to be that.
Yeah.
It's not like a hard equation that you have to try to figure out.
I'm with you.
It takes two things. It takes the desire and it takes the discipline.
Absolutely.
It ain't easy.
Okay.
But the equation is 2 + 2 equal this. You desire to be faithful, plus you have
build
the
up
discipline, you're faithful.
Okay, I'm with you.
Period.
I'm with you. I thought you were saying discipline was easy. I'm like,
No. That's why I can't stop eating them Snickers upstairs. It's not easy.
that part. Absolutely. Listen, we want to hear from you guys tomorrow. We want you guys to weigh in on this. What are your thoughts on attraction? Do you think it's wrong to be attracted to somebody when you're in a relationship? We want to hear from you guys. We'll be live on Facebook and YouTube. Check us out. Reminder, you can always show love to the podcast by sending us stars while we're on live. You can hit us up on our Cash App, $ what they never told us. The link to the dopest playlist ever crafted and curated in music is in the description. Check it out. Am I forgetting anything, babe?
Nope. Always remember, we love love.
And y'all should love too.
Peace.
Peace.